Ah. If it's Sunday, it must be England.
I don't know where I am. I've just been around the world in 80 minutes. I mean, since I finished the record, I've just done nothing but promotion. No, we did the record and straight made the video, from making the video into Japan, and from Japan to Australia, from Australia to Europe. And I mean, this week, in fact, I was in New York doing an in-store at midnight, because that was the official release date of the album.
Right.
And so I was signing records at 4 different locations, and I thought, oh, I'll go home tomorrow and I'll be able to take a rest. I'll get home the next day. My wife gives me a sheet of paper and a car comes, and it's like doing a mini tour, like a rehearsal for the tour, you know.
Right. Well, tonight we're very pleased to have you down in the Headbangers Ball dungeon.
It's good to be here.
And we're going to talk a little bit about your album, No More Tears. Now, it is an intensely personal album.
No, it turned out that way. But it wasn't. We didn't all sit down and write and think, "Hey, Ozzy, you've never really written a song about you." It just kind of evolved, if you like. I mean, Lemmy from Motorhead wrote most of the words to "Mama, I'm Coming Home," and like you put the 2 characters to the lyric and the person, and you wouldn't and imagine Lemmy, you know, writing such great words, like sentimental words.
But was it a very emotional experience for you to go back to your childhood and look at all those things that have happened to you in the past and to broach those subjects?
I think it's like a cleaning out process, an emotional cleaning out process. But as I say again, it just naturally happened. And the biggest problem, of course, we had was getting a producer that wanted to produce my record, because now they say, yeah, Ozzy, like all they keep at the end of producing your record is the titles of the songs, and they change everything else. You know, they just throw everything out, and you're virtually doing their record.
Yeah,
you
because
know.
you said in the past that you have been very manipulated, but this time.
I mean, it was a total band effort, you know. It was a total collaboration. And I've said in the press that this is the last Ozzy Osbourne album. And when I say that it's the last Ozzy Osbourne album, doesn't mean to say that I'm retiring. What that means is I'm not going to go out as a solo act anymore. I would either like to form a band or something, or do something else, you know. Because I find it's to be Ozzy Osbourne, I'm like, if my guitar player goes and gets crazy drunk and breaks up a bar, it's Ozzy Osbourne who gets the blame, you know.
Right.
You know, I'm responsible for the whole thing, and it's sometimes a burden to, you know. I mean, I don't care if he gets drunk and breaks the bar. I'll probably be with him anyway, you know.
I mean, what did you find so stimulating about writing with Lemmy?
To be honest with you, I was shocked. Because he'd moved to Los Angeles, and my wife said that he'd give me, found out his address. And Lemmy and I go back many years ago. We've fallen out of many bars and tents at gigs and festivals and things. And I went round to his apartment. He said, "Let me read you these lyrics," and he read me the lyrics to the song on his album 1916.
That's right, the title track.
I said, "You wrote those?"
Fantastic.
You know, and I said, you should quit rock and roll and write books, you know. And then I said, "Lemmy, I'm writing some lyrics, you know." And the collaboration between him and I mean, it was great, because a lot of Lemmy is tongue-in-cheek humour.
Right.
Like one of the lines he wrote on as a song called "I Don't Want to Change the World, I Don't Want the World to Change Me," and one of the lines in the song is, "They tell me I'm a sinner, I've got news for you. I spoke to God this morning and he don't like you." Now in America that goes straight over their heads, you know.
Right.
And it's like tongue-in-cheek, so it's like a giggle, you know. It's not serious.
Well, we're going to talk some more in a moment, but coming up now, we've got the title track to your video, to your album. Would you introduce it for us?
Yeah, it's the title track of my new album. It's called No More Tears.
The title track of Ozzy Osbourne's brand new album. And of course, Ozzy is our special guest in the studio tonight, so we talk a little bit more Ozzy. And that video is very theatrical kind of video, no metal cliches in sight. Is that kind of an indication of your stage show?
No, no. It's nothing to do with the stage show. It was just the director's vision of what he saw the song to. Because like you give the song to directors and they come back with what they think the video should be about, and that's really my wife's department, because I really have no direction or anything to do with the videos. Like the theatrical side of Ozzy. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne is like the invisible person. Is my wife. She does all the costumes. I mean, to wear this, don't wear that. And do your hair like this, and she gets me together, because I just walk on there with denim jeans and like regular guy. But she sort of moulds me, if you like, and she's sort of the theatrical side of it, and she designs. She goes with designers to design these stage sets, and all that stuff. I hate all that, We'll have, I don't know. It's a different world. All I want to do is get up there and rock and roll,
Right. And I would imagine that recording an album is a very different proposition to when you were recording albums all those years ago with Black Sabbath.
Well, now it's become so technical. I mean, I remember. It's ridiculous. I remember when I recorded my first album ever with Black Sabbath, and we had a transit van. We drove from Birmingham down to London, got into this little pokey studio somewhere in Regent Street, recorded the whole thing in 2 days, got back in the van and went to Switzerland to do a residency work. And that was it, Now it's like you got all these computers saying error, and little flashing lights and waving funny. I mean, it's like I've got more idea of the Star Trek desk than the recording desk. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's things you can do now in the studio which are astounding, and it's getting and to keep up with today's standard. I mean, I don't particularly like it because it's kind of fakey for me, but you have to use it to some of it to keep up with today's standard,
And you were talking a little while ago about the pressure of being Ozzy Osbourne. Do you ever feel that your image restricts your kind of creativity?
Well, if you notice on this album cover, I mean, the reason why I called it No More Tears is that all the other albums have been like Speak of the Devil, No Rest for the Wicked, and it's Bark at the Moon. It was everybody thinks more people know of Ozzy Osbourne than of my work, So they always look at the cover and I'm standing there with the fangs, And I thought, well, underneath all this pile of controversy is a singer-songwriter,
right.
And so they go, we don't want that music, my son listening to that music. And so I just said, I want to do a nice album, a sleeve, and a simple title, not and everybody's been going on about this autobiographical thing, and it really wasn't planned that way.
Okay.
I mean, and it wasn't nothing but a lot of fun to make, and I'm glad I made it, and I'm really proud of it.
Great. Okay, well, we're going to talk some more after this next video. And coming up now, we have the brand new track from Armoured Saint. It's from their latest album, and it's called Last Train Home.
I went home with a short back and side and a boat and like a regular suit. Then my kids would scream and run and say, "Dad's gone mad," you know. You know, I mean, they're used to, they're used to saying that, you know, I'm dad to them, you know. They go, "Oh, don't," you know. It doesn't have any effect. But the kids at school, like, "Your dad's mad," you know.
But did having a family and having children change your perspective?
No,
on life in any way?
I was married to another woman before Sharon, and I had children before with my ex-wife, and so it's not a new experience. I mean, it's just, you know, other people go to the office, I make records and go on stage and perform. You know, it's a job. It's what I do for a living. I feel very fortunate at the age of 42 to still have a following, you know.
Right.
I mean, they tell me I'm getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. What do you mean? I'm still alive at 42. You know, is that what it means?
Right. And you take your little boy up on stage with you
it's great, yeah.
And your little girl is in the End of the No More Tears video as well. Would you actively encourage your children to kind of follow your
Well, if
lifestyle?
they wanted to, I'm not one of these people that say, you know, go to this theatrical school and then learn how to act and all this. My Kelly, the one who's on the video, she said to me, "Daddy, I'd like to learn to play the violin." Now, when you come back from America and you got jet lag and you're lying in bed and shit, you have not yet seen this little tiny violin yet, and you hear a child of 6 scraping this thing by your ear, and all you want to do is have a blood transfusion and die. You know, it doesn't sound too good, you know.
I can imagine.
So it's like I have two sides, you know. I mean, my babies are what it's all about for me, you know.
I mean, do you regard your band as a different kind of family?
I spend more time with my band than I do with my family, because when I'm out on the road, we live together, you know. We you know, it's like we just, it's like gypsies. It's like the Ozzy you see performing and the Ozzy you're speaking to now is two totally separate things.
It's like a split personality.
Absolutely,
Isn't it? Same as
and he thinks so too.
Okay, well, it's way a little bit in terms of attitude.
Well, not as far as I'm concerned. I'm still as real as ever. I mean, I use a few emulators, but I don't. But the thing is, I do sing when I'm up there, whether it's good or whether it's bad. I'm not like Willy Manilli or whatever they're called. I don't lip sing.
But do you think the business side has maybe become too important?
It is. It's more of a business now than it ever was. I mean, there's so many bands. I mean, you know, everybody wants to become a rock and roll star. You know, I mean, and there's so much competition out there. But I just plod along. You know.
Right.
Like, you know, I've been doing it 23 years now, and I've loved every minute of it. You know, I've had a blast.
Right. Now, I'm sorry to have to ask you this next question, but I know if I don't, there's going to be hundreds of people out there in Europe saying, "Why didn't Vanessa ask the question? Will you ever rejoin Black Sabbath?"
Absolutely. Well, at this point, no. But you never know what may happen. You know? I have got no immediate plans. My musical direction and their musical direction is worlds apart. Bill lives in California.
Right.
I don't know where the others live. I don't have any communication with them. I have no plans, but stranger things have happened, you know.
And very quickly, when can we expect to see you on tour in Europe?
Either next year or the year after, because I start my tour in October, and then I'm on the road for as long as it takes. And I want to play Europe, because I played Europe on the last tour, and I got a great reception. So I will definitely be playing Europe.
Great. Okay, well, I want to wish you luck with that, and good luck with your album, and thank you very much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure, Vanessa.
Right, many